Abdullah Shamil. Today our group is going to present about the effects of obesity among Malaysian citizens. What is obesity? Obesity is defined as abnormal or excessive fat accumulation that present a risk to our health. A body mass index (BMI) over 25 is considered overweight and over 30 is obese. A recent United Nations study revealed that Malaysians consume an average of 2,910 calories a day. This is much higher than our Minister of Health recommended for an average sedentary woman and man, which is 1,500 and 2,000 calories respectively. According to World Health Organization (WHO), Malaysia has the highest rate of obesity and overweight among Asian countries, with 64% of male and 65% of female population being either obese or overweight. One of the consequences is that the prevalence of diabetes among adults aged 18 years old and above has increased from 11.6% to 17.5% over a period of 9 years, from 2006 to 2015. What is the effects of obesity? Later, my group member will explain it. I hope you have learned something from today's topic from me. I will now pass the next presentation to my group members.
Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. My name is Nurul Syazwani binti Rahim. Thank you to Mr. Shamil for coming up with an amazing introduction to our main objective today, which is to talk about the effects of obesity among Malaysian citizens. As we know, due to COVID-19, we have been in this era of Movement Control Order (MCO) that was enforced by our Prime Minister of Malaysia, Tan Sri Yassin, to reduce the case of COVID-19 in our country. However, many citizens have expressed dissatisfaction with their weight gain during the MCO period, which not really surprising considering that they were homebound and less active physically. I believe that obesity will become a serious problem after COVID-19. The first reason why I say that is because obesity can have a negative impact on our health and also can increase the health problems in our body. Have you ever heard that obesity particularly affects almost every aspect of health, from reproductive and respiratory function to cognition and mood? Obesity raises the risk of a variety of severe and fatal diseases including diabetes, heart disease, and some cancer if not treated correctly at the right time. For example, diabetes is more common in those who are overweight. Obese people more likely develop into two types of diabetes as adults. However, this issue has now spread to youngsters as well. Obesity will interrupt the functioning of the insulin hormone, and this hormone is in charge of controlling blood sugar level in our body. In addition, obesity not only raises the chance of getting numerous chronic diseases, but it also places a pressure on government finance in terms of healthcare allocation, which is sensible. According to Health Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Adham Bapa said, 3.9 million people, or 1 in 5 Malaysian adults aged above 18, suffer from diabetes. Another essential point, diabetes prevalence in Malaysia has risen to 18.3% in 2019, up from 30.4% in 2015. This is very concerning since the number of people having diabetes keeps rising every year. Thus, I can conclude that the effects of obesity among Malaysian citizens can have a negative impact on health, and obesity is one of the most common diseases in this modern world. A lot of complications will occur if we suffer from obesity, such as heart attack and high cholesterol. As such, it is important to find out what the factors that contribute to obesity and how to reduce the risk of becoming overweight or obese. It is good if we can prevent it now before it becomes worse. Thank you for listening. Have a good day, everyone.
Hi everyone, my name is Siti binti AZHAR. So thank you for Wani for giving a good explanation for our first point. So I will continue our presentation with our second point, which is obesity can affect self-esteem. Have you ever heard the story about happy fat person? Well, as comforting as they might be, particularly if your own child is heavy, they may be more myth than reality in most children's life. Not only are they health cause associated with childhood obesity, but your child's weight problem is also intimately entangled in his emotional world. Social stigma. For children who are overweight, living with excess pound can be heartbreaking. In its own way, the social stigma attached to being overweight can be as damaging to a child as the physical disease. In a society that puts a premium on thinness, study shows that children as young as 6 years old may associate negative stereotypes with excess weight and believe that a heavy child is simply less likable. Self-esteem and school bullying. Some children are overweight or very popular with their friends or classmates. They feel good about themselves and have plenty of self-confidence. But in general, if your child is obese, he is more likely to have a low esteem than his thinner peers. His weak self-esteem can translate into feelings to shame about his body, and his lack of self-confidence can lead to poor academic. This youngster may be told by the classmate or even the adults that being heavy is their own fault. They might be called names. They could be subjected to teasing and bullying. Their former friends may avoid them, and they also have a trouble for making a new friends. They could be the last one chosen when teams are selected in physical education classes. This problem can lead to depression. With all of this problem, he may feel as thought he doesn't belong or fit anywhere. He may see himself as different and an outcast. He will often feel lonely and is less likely than his peers to describe himself as popular or cool. And when this scenario becomes ingrained as part of his life, month after month, year after year, he can become sad and clinically depressed, and it will withdraw into himself. Unfortunately, we also didn't realize that actually can lead to discrimination. There are other obesity-related repercussions that continue well into adolescence and beyond. Heavy teenagers and adults might face discrimination based solely on their weight. Some research suggests that they are less likely to be accepted for admission by a prestigious university. They may also have a reduced chance of landing good jobs than their thinner peers. Women who are overweight have a decreased chances of dating or finding a marriage partner. In short, when heavy children become heavy adults, they tend to earn less money and marry less often than their friends who are of average weight.
Assalamualaikum and hi there. How are you all doing today? I hope you are all in a good health. My name is Isymah binti Abdul Salam. Thank you, Ms. Arfah, for the good point about the effect of obesity among Malaysian citizens. I will continue the last effects. Last but not least, effect of obesity encourage laziness in the society. It is doubtless that obese people find it hard and strenuous to move from one point to another because of accumulated fats. As a result, most of these people lead a sedentary lifestyle, which is usually characterized by minimal or no movement. In such scenario, victims prefer being helped doing a basic activities, including moving from one point to another. Moreover, laziness makes one to be inactive and unproductive lifestyle. For example, a student who is obese may find it hard to attend a homework and class assignment, thus affecting performance with regard to physical exercise. Obese people perceive exercise as punishment, which is not meant for them. As a result, they do not accept simple activities like jogging because of their inability to move. In line with this, obese people cannot participate in games like soccer, athletics, and rugby, among others. Based on this sedentary lifestyle, obese people spend a lot of their time watching television, movies, and playing video games, which worsens the situation. Due to inferiority complex, obese people avoid being a public and prefer being alone. This is because of they imagine how the world see them, may also find it hard being involved in a public activity because of their size. Here a research from Faculty of Medicine and Defence Health National Defence University of Malaysia about self-perception and belief on obesity among obese staff in Malaysia Military University. This is response related with internal item in the cause of obesity. As you can see, they will be able to stop eating much, and 76.7% of obese adults feel that keep on eating even when they are full. So, 63.3% of them believe that they become fat because of being lazy. For the people at risk of developing obesity, prevention method can be implemented. Prevention include a healthy diet and physical activity. The diet and physical activity pattern should be regular and realizable to avoid strain that could result complication. Some risk factor for obesity non-modifiable, for example, genetic. When a person is genetically predisposed, the lifestyle modification may be help. For the individual who are already obese, they can work on weight reduction through health diets and physical exercise. In conclusion, obesity is indeed a major health concern because of the health complications are very serious. Factors influencing of obesity are both modifiable and non-modifiable. The management of obesity revolves around diet and physical activity, and so it is important to remain fit and not laziness. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nurul Syafini binti Muhammad Sukri. After listening to all my group's members' opinion about the effect of obesity on Malaysian citizens, I am here to conclude what they said earlier. In conclusion, what can I say that Malaysian citizens need to take care of their health, change their lifestyle to a healthy lifestyle, and be more productive to avoid obesity. When we take a look at what Syazwani said, obesity can have a negative impact on health condition and increase health problems. I am fully agree with her opinion. So to avoid that, I would suggest consume a proper meal and taking a proper meal portion in a daily life. Use pyramid food as a guideline to prepare food every day to make sure we eat in a healthy way. Hence, when we eat healthy food, it can prevent us from any disease like obesity and so on. But people say an apple a day keep doctor away. Next, I also agree with what Arfah said that obesity can affect self-esteem. Most obese people always feel insecure and they are usually social, awkward and more comfortable being alone. So to avoid that, I would suggest obese people to do some exercise at least 2 times a week and be consistent in losing weight. With a better image, we can gain our self-esteem and be more confident when we talk to people and being socialized. For Isymah part, I would totally agree with her when she said that obesity encourages laziness in society. Therefore, people who have obesity usually have a problem moving around and it's hard to do some activities that require a lot of movement like social activities, gotong royong. Therefore, my suggestion to obese people is to go check with a health consultant and get involved in a Get Fit program so that they can reduce their weight and be more productive in their life. That's all for me. Thank you for watching me and my group members' presentation. I hope you enjoy. See you next time.